use my affiliate link to support the channel down in the description. We're going to be going over the post-Legacy of Destruction regional deck list from this last week. We're going to go over the branded list at first, and then we're going to go over every other deck list that I find interesting that topped this week, because there was like Buster Blader, which I found pretty cool. I do want to review, but I do want, and like various other little things. Obviously, Tenpai. I don't think we need to review Tenpai, though. I think we have to go over... I mean, we talk about the Tenpai matchup in the next Branded podcast, so make sure to check out Branded Cast episode 2. It will be releasing probably Monday or Tuesday. Anyways, we got like 10 Branded lists that topped this last week post Legacy of Destruction. So good job to us. That's a pretty strong number. I think we were about 4th place for the most topping decks. We will have to check on that. We will have to double check on that. I'm going to double check the spreadsheet actually here in a second, but we were around the 4th most topping deck the last week, so good job to us. Post Legacy of Destruction. I felt like this was going to be a little bit harder of a format for us, because more droplets and then also just more hand traps, frankly, because Nib got better. I mean, obviously though, if you follow the MetaGamesGX deck profiles, you know how to play around Nib with the double Quemgu, so that's not really an issue, but so that's why I feel like the good Branded pilots are able to take it in this kind of meta where it's not as face favorable to Branded, but obviously Branded is the best deck when it's piloted at a high level, and then also when you just see your cards, the correct cards, I think. Obviously Branded, I'm not saying like it's the best deck for everybody, but you know, there's a reason why a lot of people one-trick the deck versus other decks in the game. Balram, Thrust, Albion, Dragoon, Chimera, Quem. Yeah, those are cards. So yeah, we're gonna go over this list here. We have this Chimera list, top 8 from Montreal. 45 card list. I found that kind of interesting, right? Like, we don't really care. I feel like they're taking a play out Branded there, like regular Branded. Like Chimera, there's no reason why Chimera can't go a little above 40. Especially now with the new card, because you have Nightmare Apprentice. This card's nuts. If you haven't read it already, you really should. I'm going to have to adjust them quickly, but guys, make sure to leave a like on the stream also if you have not already. But Nightmare Apprentice. You can special summon this card from your hand by discarding 1 card. You special summon only once per turn this way. And if it's normal or special summon, you can add 1 illusion monster from your deck to your hand. So it's basically one of the most generic extenders and searchers for the Chimera deck. So I think going forward, this will be a 3 of any sort of Chimera deck. Also, what's up, everybody in the Twitch chat? I appreciate you guys going over the Twitch chat. GZ1K, I'm the one that watches. Yeah, there's always like 1 or 2 people over on Twitch. I do appreciate you, brother. Guys, make sure to check out that Twitch if you haven't already. I think we also have Saki over there. What's up, Saki? My man Vinky on Twitter. I appreciate you, brother. You've been following me from almost the start. I appreciate you. PGA Proceed, Nawi in here too. What's up, PGA Proceed? What's up? Also, you get to see my stream basically 2 seconds after I say my words. It's crazy on Twitch. Like, it's crazy the quality and latencies that you get over there. So highly recommend watching on Twitch. Obviously, come back to the YouTube chat if you guys want to support me anyway, but by clicking the join button, getting a membership, getting access to the members only Discord channel where you get to become a member, and ask me any questions. You get coaching through the group chat. You can ask me anything on your brand deck or any other deck list, frankly, or just Yu-Gi-Oh question in general. We have a nice little community brewing in there with all the members. So if you want to be a part of that, definitely click the join button, and then you get all my deck lists early, as I said. So and then also you'll be able to duel me on stream when we do member duel streams. So we're going to try to get the sub button on Twitch too. Donations over there, so you guys have equivalents to join also the Discord over on Twitch. But for now, right now, we have YouTube. Card limits, how's it going, my brother? My god, no, sorry, my Numeron god brother. Yo, Gimmick Puppet Lock, Branded player tried to loop, but because of Dogwood and Droplet, he did a straight scoop. That's what I'm saying, like, Droplet really does affect the Branded deck unless you're really ahead in the game, kind of thing, where you can actually play around Droplet with, like, cards like Blazing Branded King, or, like, doing the goo I'm going to show off in my next 7 tips you need to know for this format with Branded. 7 combos and tips that you're going to need to know. Make sure to look out for that video. I have 7 really, really good lines and combos you guys are going to want to know, like, no cap. I thought we'd... because that's why I haven't done one in a while, is like, I haven't been able to justify doing another one, because we did a couple of those in the past, but I got a few ones for this format. All I'm gonna say is Lulu Wall Lilith is busted right now. And if no one's talking about that, that's why we got the goo, guys. Nightmare Prince is going up in price, staying near 90 for a set now. Wow, yeah, I just sold mine for 27. I pulled out my box the other day on stream after winning locals. I would do a deck list on the list I won with locals 2 weeks in a row with, but it was basically the same list. I subtracted 5 cards. It went from 60 to 55 cards, and I liked it. And you guys will see the updated list when we do some ranked later. I'm gonna just catch up on chats, and then we will do the deck list. I swear, guys, I swear. Thank you for being patient. I appreciate you all. Thank you all for coming through on your Friday night, coming through, chill with our normal streams. We stream every Monday and Friday here. Yeah, those are the ones you're missing. Gotcha. I mean, I would say maybe post in the trades chat. We do have the Discord, guys. Join the Discord. We have a wonderful community there. ! Discord. All the links to support me and my socials and to join the community is always in the YouTube description. PGA Pro C, I'm getting back into CCG, but need to find the branded Despia cards. There's a lot of cheap versions of them. The ones that are most expensive are Quem, Cartesia, and like Lubellion. Outside of that, though, they're all quite budget, so I'd go with like the structure deck versions of those cards kind of thing. GZ1000 might swap the Light Hex Seal for Versago in my Chimera deck. It's a lot better to draw and can be dumped off a Fusion Burst from that. Oh, that's why it's good. Okay. I was like wondering, okay, so yeah, it does sound like more use than whatever, like Light Hex Sealed or like Third Eye Witch. And Wild TV coming through with the lightning energy. I appreciate you, brother. Always coming through with the positive vibes, brother. Nice to see you. Hope you're doing well. Hope you're doing well, brother. Recently gifted channel member and Wild TV too. He is in that coaching group chat, guys. And if you have been gifted a sub and you aren't in there, you can just DM me if you want to be in there. Okay, so let's do this. The YouTube delay is way more than Twitch, says GZ1K. Yeah, no, for sure. Okay, so let's get into this. Thanks for waiting, everybody. 31 people watching, so we got in. We got in. Also, thank you all for helping hit the member goal last month. We hit the member goal. We hit 40. We got 60 right now. I'd just like to maintain 40, to be honest. So I don't know. We'll just keep it there, just to say we'll hopefully maintain 40. So anyways, this deck list, they're also running Diabolese. This is one of the new illusion monsters that is also a Sinful Spoils cards, essentially, because it says if a Sinful Spoils card is in either player's graveyard. So this is a side deck card against Snake Eye. You can special summon this card from your hand. So this card basically says it's an anti-spell on legs. So basically people will not be able to use quick play spell cards that they set that turn, because it says if a spell trap becomes set on the field while this card is in the monster zone, you can target one card you controlled, one card your opponent controls, destroy them. Also, it says, as a floodgate effect, your opponent must set spell and trap cards before activating them. So that basically means that quick play spells will not be usable when this card is on the field. So this turns off Super Poly. That's very relevant. Like when Branded is probably going to go back to that card, in my opinion. Players should be on that card, frankly, in my opinion, right now. If you're playing Branded, should be considering it at least. In my testing, it's been insane so far. I like this as a one-of also, so it's cool to see that people are actually teching it. It's like a nice little control. It's like an end-board piece little thing. And then you do have the normal Chimera engine plus branded cards, like Fallen of Albaz, Luber. I saw some like people thinking, oh, you should drop the branded engine. No, don't. The branded, like, there's a reason why Voiceless runs it, you know? Like, it's one of the strongest engines and decks in the game, so... you just put in some of the new cards and you improve the deck. You're also running the Patchwork engine plus some board breakers. So we're going for no hand traps on this. We're going for more of a Brand Despia approach with no traps in the main. I guess that makes sense. Just no imperm. It would usually be imperm, right? And then we do have the Dragoon package, obviously, because we do run the Light Hex Sealed and the Versago, which count also as Albaz, but also can get you into Dragoon. I feel like the stack is always trying to go into Dragoon, basically. You also do have Emissary of the House of Wax. This guy's a little cute guy. When monster declares an attack, you special summon from your hand, and if it battles a monster, neither can be destroyed by battle. end your opponent's battle phase, all monsters your opponent controls cannot change their battle positions or be used as materials for anything in the extra deck. So Fusion, Synchro, Caesar, Link. Also, their effects are negated. It's actually a pretty good blanket. It's a really good like battle phase effect that can really throw off people if you just don't see it coming. With the lack of Omni negates, especially with Baron, I feel like this card is actually kind of strong in an illusion build. I don't like the patchwork stuff, but like I feel like it's great in the Chimera build, so I understand. Maybe I'd go for like allures, but probably not. Like you don't have enough darks. Although when I see Nightmare Apprentice as a dark, I'm like, allure? Anyone? You do have the barrier statue in the side for the gimmick puppet, and then the D barriers for Tenpai, Droll, all that fun stuff. I feel like a lot of people are just gonna be doing Droll for Tenpai essentially. Why is my mic so quiet? I'm gonna have to turn that up. Yeah, my mic should be louder now, guys. Let me know if it just like sounds too quiet or whatever. All right, so that was a cool list, Brand Chimera. We'll check out the other Brand Chimera list in a minute, but let's check out this Brand Despia list. This was the top 4 Rosemont regional list by Freddie Caesar. Shout out to Freddie. He is friends with Sam Zhang. So we talked about his list actually a little bit. Talk about a little bit in the Brandcast episode 2, but we can watch a little bit of this deck profile. So let's watch a little bit of it.
All right. What were your matchups, if you can remember any of them?
Basically, I mean, well, we can see this list here. I mean, it's kind of like a deck profile, right? We don't need to, I guess, watch it. So this list, I feel like, is really, really, really good. Rosemont is a pretty, like, Ohio is a pretty, or sorry, Chicago is a pretty competitive area. Lots of great players, so this guy getting top 4 of the deck is definitely a very good showing. Also, he has lots of great techs on the side. It's actually quite reminiscent of my side deck right now. Lots of one-ofs. You see the Herald of the Abyss, Change of Heart, Mind Control, Snatch Steal, Harpy Feather Duster, and then the thrust targets with DDG and D-Barrier and Banishment. I feel like this is extremely teched out side deck to really just, you know, this is a meta where there's going to be a lot of different decks rolling around, so you're going to have to be able to have options that cover a wide swath of decks, so that you don't just die to a certain matchup because you don't have a side deck card for it. So I feel like having these really generic board breakers right now that where in a format with less Omni negates, with the banning of Baron and Savage, cards like Mind Control and Change of Heart are just nuts right now. Also, Snatch Steal just outs Purrely. So I feel like having the Herald plus the Snatch Steal with the Purrely buffs is very smart. Snatch Steal is very free, and people are really discounting this card. I've been running it since it got unbanned in various capacities. Oh shit, I'm sorry, the music's really loud. My bad. Anyways, yeah, my bad. Sorry about that, guys. Yeah, so anyways, yeah, these cards are really good. I really do like these one-ofs in the Change Heart Herald Abyss. Bestials, evenly matched, always the best board breaker, and always the best board breaker in Branded. And I do like the going first options. Obviously, last format we were doing things like Summon Limit. We were doing things like, you know, other floodgates like Tikaboo in the past. I feel like right now D-Barrier really is a good side for Tenpai. You know, this is how you can get around Tenpai. Also, the DDG is pretty good overall for just like fire. Especially if they hand trap you, well, that's just a turn skip on their turn. And then the Banishment really does cover your mirror match as well. So I still like the Banishment. I think Branded will still be one of those top 5 decks still this format, in terms of representation at least. So I think having, you know, one option in your deck for the mirror match is super important. When the mirror matches, I've heard from everybody consistently, they've gotten so much harder. They've gotten so much more difficult. Because people just know their shit now. You know, you got people like me, Nightfall, you know, Galzo, just out here just spreading the goo, and you know, I think Branded players, you know, we're a very sharing community. So everybody like is kind of just getting up to date on the deck, and they're playing it great now. We still need to get more YCS tops, but that's a whole different discussion. Yeah, no, this is a good list. The Allure of Darkness too, Droplets, Triple Tactics, Thrust, and Talents. And then we have the Shrouded Dragon plus the 3 Cartesia. This is something we talk about in the podcast. 3 Cartesia is becoming the standard, so 2 Mercurier too. I find interesting. I feel like in a build like this, I'd rather run Tragedy, frankly. I feel like some hands with Mercurier and double Quem could really not be great, but you know, he is on the double Quem, which I do think is pretty correct. That's always been my theory. I think double Quem is really good to play through Nib, because you usually go through 1 during your standard combo, and then you end up going, you know, you end up going into, or well, you're going to use 1 through your standard combo, and then you're going to need to go into 1 through the Grand Guignol when you get nibbed, because you're always in a position to go into Grand Guignol if you're going to be nibbed and branded. I'm going to read some of these chats, though. Card limits. I've also been on 2 YouTube videos in 1 week on Pharaoh Time's channel, both like when Snake Eyes pissed off Godly Numeron player. That's hilarious. If you want to send me the video, I'll watch it on streams. On Wild TV, we back to Lulu. I do love Lulu. I think Lulu's really, really, really good against Tenpai. GZ1K can be used for any fusion material for Chimera fusions. Yeah, exactly. For the fusion substitutes. Finally Friday, hell yeah, and Wild. Stopper Argon is Brand Chimera in a good spot this format. Yeah, especially with their new support. I'd say they're in a pretty good spot overall. GameCube Slayer, how's it going? MetaGamesGX, how's it going? GameCube Slayer, watching over on the Twitch chat. We got 5 people watching on the Twitch chat. Appreciate you guys helping me get that Twitch affiliate, guys. Like, I have like over 3 people watching, I guess, if I want to, for like so long. So if we do that for like a month or 2 here, I should have the Twitch affiliate so you guys can like donate and subscribe and use your Twitch primes and all that fun stuff. Diabells also turns off imperm. Yes, it does, which is good. That's a really good point. Kind of huge on. Card limits. When Fragrance is limited, Pendulum, oh yeah, is like, oh yeah, when they release this card. Also Pendulums, oh no, when we're talking about Diabellis. PGA Proud Seed, looking at the prices, looks like Thrust and Quem are driving the price up. Yeah, it's really just Thrust and Quem that's the expensive part branded. Also, Grand Guignol is now like a $20, $30 card. Also, Sanctifier is. Those cards were previously about $10 each. So the deck has gone up overall, but a lot of the deck is very budget. So don't be discouraged if you're trying to get into branded, like the one Sir was talking about before in the chat. The guitar playing sounds similar to a Dragon Ball game. It's from Mega Man Card Limits. Are there any videos on your channel about playing the mirror match? I think so. Yeah, I mean, there's a matchup guide for a couple formats where I've talked about the branded matchup. I should make a video on the mirror match. That's a good idea. I think we talk about in the branded cast though a bit, so definitely watch that. It's definitely, there's some information about the mirror there, but I think that's something that we could talk about in like a whole episode, frankly. All right. Lulu is one of my favorite cards. Can even summon this Iris Sword Soul. That's crazy. That's actually true. Copy the links under replays. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, links are allowed on the server if they're replays, guys. Don't worry about that. Legalize marijuana. Should I play Fusion Dupe if I don't have Thrust? I mean, I've seen people run 3 Fusion Dupe, like Zelda Duelist in my community. If not having Thrust, I personally would say just run the Deer Servant. Like, just run the Deer Servant, man. And take, you know. Okay, so yeah, this list is really good, though. I would just say maybe, like, do something about the tragedy. Also, like, I don't know, Super probably would be hard to defend here, but this side deck, this is something that you guys want to look into. Also, double Grand EG with the Furious Dragon. Not a whole lot of options for stun. He wasn't too afraid of stun, or he just thought, you know, having the Dragon and then plus the Bestials and then the double Grand, or sorry, the Borreload Furious would be enough. So, branded Voiceless Voice. Well, it's a branded Voiceless Voice deck, folks. What else is there to say? Branded Despia. All right, here's something more up our alley, piloted by Ozen Durgerl in a German regional. Let's see how big it was. It was about 100 duelists. This was the top 8 pie chart. Wow, Branded got most of the representation with two people in top cut with Branded Despia. We do have the first place though, so good on this duelist. Very good list. 37 people watching on YouTube. What's up? What's up, guys? Make sure to leave a like right now. I appreciate you guys coming through right now on your Friday night. We're going over regional topping branded Despia deck lists right now. We're also going to go over the other deck lists that are pretty interesting, like the Buster Blader list from the Greek Open. There was a pure Buster Blader list that actually topped. They almost went undefeated in Swiss until they got 2-0'd by Tenpai, which is kind of like ironic since the deck is supposed to be really good against fire decks. 6 people watching on Twitch. I appreciate you guys. Double Tragedy, double Merc, double Quem. You love the double Quem. In a deck like this, I feel like 3 Cartesia should be there. 3 Shrouded should be there as well with the Allure of Darkness, but that's just a personal grievance. Because you do have the double Mercury or double Tragedy. Like, you're mostly going to see hands with that are live with the Allures, and also Cartesia is just a card you want to see most of the time. The Shroud Dragon at 2 I feel like is probably fine, though. Maybe that's something we can start considering in the future, though. Because it really does suck to go Shrouded Dragon, draw Shrouded Dragon. You know, that does suck. We do see the double branded in red. I feel like double brand red is just so good right now. Very, very good against stun and other things. Double Sireneer with 1 high spirits is interesting because you do have the double Mercurier. This build might as well be running branded sword in my opinion. Beyond that Raoul goo. I do love the Allures, guys. You guys know Allure is one of my favorite cards to run brand Despia. It just really helps you draw into the cards that you need, so I like builds like this. Double Grand Guignol, very standard. He has the Masquerade for the time. Borreload for the stun. He does have the Crossout Designator in the side for the D Barrier and the Ash Blossoms. I'm curious how much it came up for him. See if it's in English. Yeah, no. But I bet it came up, you know, with a lot of people running D Barrier for the Tenpai matchup, right? Right? Sarper Argon. I'm so pumped that Konami released branded fusion sleeves for YCS Japan. Just order a pack. Sarper. Wait, what? Where are they? Oh, I think I saw them. I need to get them. How do I get them, Sarper? I could be better, but I'm fine. Friday finally. Hell yeah, Unwild. Hope you have a great weekend, my man. Card limits. That's like telling me to drop Memories of Hope. I hear fine. Guitar playing. Yeah, I already read that. Should I play? Yeah, I already read that. Usman. How do you build around D Barrier without crossout? You do stuff like Nadir, you know, stuff to play through the D Barrier. Because if you go Nadir and like or High Spirits and just set up your graveyard for the next turn, then that's fine. What do you guys do against Grave? What do you mean by that? Mr. Halo Man, what do you think about running an FTK with like triple Masquerade going first? I think that's a really interesting concept for branded. Triple Masquerade. I actually do have a short on this that I did recently. Maybe we'll make this into an additional short, but I think Triple Masquerade, in a world where like Sanctifier got banned, might actually be something that you want to do for this like going first win condition that your opponent really can't play through. I mean, you saw it with Blackwing though, and that didn't really work out. So, I mean, to be fair, their cards do less than Masquerade. I think it burns for 500, whereas Masquerade burns for 6, which does matter. But because I think you don't get more than like 6 or 8 plays with Triple Masquerade, so it's pretty hard to out. But it's like they're probably outing one of the Masquerades in time. So I think that overall the Triple Masquerade game plan, while is cool, it's probably not what we want to be doing right now. I do like the Shadal Dragon. I feel like Shadal Dragon's just such a good tech, especially with Labyrinth rolling around. Very good for the prospect of Labyrinth, in my opinion. Because you can just keep summoning it in a grind game and popping their sets before they can pitch. Oh, we got some branded sword goo. Cannington Regional by Frank Wang. This was a 100-person regional in Australia with one branded in the top cut. Snake Eye won the event with Kashtira, branded in top 4 with Ubel, Tearlaments, Snake Eye too. Ooh, Tearlaments was there. Let's see the Tearlaments list. Oh yeah, this was like the standard Tearlaments list. I was like, oh no, I thought this was Light Sword. No, it was just standard tier. All right, let's go Freddy Wang's branded list with... Wow, this is a really spicy list. This is probably the spiciest list of the night. I like it a lot, frankly. It takes a lot of different ideas from different lists. Like, you see the Super Poly and Droplets that you guys know I love. I love pioneering those kind of, that kind of board breaking package because it allows you to set up your graveyard, and then also, so your cost is pretty free usually for those cards. and it allows you to break any board in the game. Also, you can set them going first, so they're very good in your main deck, unlike things like Feather Duster and Evenly Matched, which are great cards, only going second, though. If you see them going first, that's a huge brick. You're trying to win after that turn 0, my friend. So if I don't use triple tactics thrust, I can still branded. What do you mean, Super Geek? I mean, yeah, for sure. You can still play branded without thrust. It is one of our best non-engine cards, I will admit. However, it is not a needed card for you to play branded or even win with branded. Now, if you want to win a regional, I definitely recommend having a thrust. You could probably go to a regional and probably win a regional without thrust, but you know, you definitely have to be a wild branded player kind of thing. Yuri Diaz with the Brick Cartesias in the chat. Yeah, Raul, is this one of your disciples, my brother? How you doing, Raul Sanders? We got Raul Sanders and Yuri Diaz, my branded brothers in crime. Honestly, I kind of want to try Book of Eclipse in the main. I think going first, doing stuff is good, and going second, it's also kind of nice in most matchups. Yeah, like Nightfall was talking about that a lot earlier to us in the group chat. Shout out to the Branded Kings group chat. And I think that's actually a pretty good option against a lot of decks right now. I do think, though, it's pretty useless against some decks, like a lot of the Link decks, so it's almost like, I tried main decking it, and it just didn't come up for me too much. I think as a side deck card, it's something we could consider, but also I think it's like the third best board breaker we have, like behind Super Poly and Droplet, because it's a quick play, right? It also baits the Ash, so I think it's something that we could consider going forward. I'd be interesting, like, would you cut Droplet in that scenario, Raul? And I haven't really seen your updated list. Critias, how's it going, my brother? I'm so back and forth about running the branded voiceless voice build. Yeah, I know, branded voiceless voice is very good. I'd try it out. I mean, obviously, if you're between the pure and branded voiceless, I'd say do whichever one you're more comfortable with at this point, especially if you're going to an event. But if you're trying to learn either of the decks, I think you would get more mileage. I mean, out of branded, I don't know, with voiceless, there's not a whole lot of technical play with that deck, in my opinion. So you know, your time investment trying to learn the branded deck will produce more, whereas voiceless, it's a very good deck on it, but it's a mid-range deck. It's kind of like Sword Soul. I think it has less combo lines than Sword Soul, though. So yeah, this list is really cool, though, with the Super Poly Droplets. And then the Imperm Nibirus, which I think are the two best hand traps in Branded, frankly. I wouldn't be running the Imperm, but obviously it's nice to see Imperm plus Nib. That's basically FTK, and we are at 49 cards. So, you know, with the Phantasmes and the Shifters and the Bestials on the side, you have a pretty decent selection hand trap package. It's decent, not great, but you do have the board breakers to make it up. I would just be worried about top decking Shifter. You know, Nib in these scenarios is very bad when that happens. We do see the branded sword here, though. We do love branded sword. We had Mr. Raul Sanders on the channel. And also we tested a few lists ourselves with branded sword over the last month. If you guys want to check those out, go the last month, go the last couple combos and deck profiles we had over the last month. You'll see the sword, brand sword in the thumbnails. We cover that card and we go over the greatness of the card. I think it's one of the most underrated cards in branded Despia. It's like branded Retribution. You get to banish it and then target one of your banished monsters that's fallen to Valbaz or mentions it and add it to your hand, and that's a quick effect since it's a trap in the graveyard. So it's really good for recursion and combo lines. It's a very heavy combo card, especially with branded and high spirits. Very good, because you can really combo with like a Bestial or Quem, and then just set up a board with like a Mercurier in hand before you even go branded fusion with, you know, like an Albalinatus. My man is on the Albalinatus too. I'd like to know if you watched our video, Raul. This is like a deck straight out of our video, my brother. He is on the Shifters though, which I was not on. Shifter's cool. I think it's really a generally good card right now. I think it's actually a decent option in the side deck for us to just like have a blanket answer to a lot of decks. It's really good, but it's like really bad against it's really good against our deck too. So, you know, you can't really OTK very easily, especially without Dragoon. Like without Dragoon and you're playing Shifter, I feel like it's really, you're basically saying I can't kill you that turn. mean, you do have the Cuerdas, but like you're probably not getting to that with a OTK line. Soul Release for the fire matchups, I guess. Dark Ruler and Blazing Branded King, very good card for getting around those droplets or called by. Very good, very good. And Phantasma's cool, especially with high spirits. Cool card because Phantasma bridges quite well with with it. So what else do we have? What else do we have? We have Top 8 by Luca, 100 player regional. And then we have one with Shiren too. This is a Montreal regional, and my man ran 3 high spirits. I think this was a Nightfall inspired list. Was the site's YGO Pro deck? Grave of the Super Ancient Organism, says Andres. I mean, you just have to run spot removal. Like stuff like Evenly Cosmic Twin Twister will really help. Also, Borreload Fury, or well, you can't activate your effect under it, but still. I mean, I think you need Cosmics personally. Like, you guys see this guy running Cosmics. I think you need Cosmics and Branded right now. A lot of people aren't, but I think you're playing a die roll game at that point. Unless you have, like, Magnum and Borreload, and even then, it's like, when you get Graved, it's like, what are you doing? Halo Man, Masquerade burns with everything. Masquerade only burns with monster effects. Oh. So I guess it is a lot better with Branded Despia. You only get 4 effects as Mr. Halo Man with 3 Masquerade. That's pretty crazy, honestly. That means Snake Eye basically can't get to an SP Little Knight in time. Raul Sanders, Magical Spring, I'm 100% siding now. Isn't Eclipse a good option versus Tenpai? I would be switching to it with Droplet, probably, yeah. Yeah, that's fair. I think Eclipse is okay against Tenpai, but if they have Field Spell up, it's not great. Obviously, you can go in the battle phase and do their effects, but, you know, or do it there, but... This list is cool. Double Grand Guignol, 1 Abelinadus. You're going to see this popping up more for the Tenpai matchup. And then the Change of Heart. Change of Heart's so free right now. Taking that Apo, negating Ash is just too free with no Omni negates. Cosmics, Dark Ruler. Dark Ruler is still pretty good for all those voiceless decks. And Snake Eye, frankly. And then you have the D Barrier. 3 D Barriers kind of crazy, but we don't have... or no, we do have Thrust, so. And then 1 Masquerade on the side for time. We do have the 3 Shrouded Dragon, 2 cards easy, a 2 Quem. You guys love to see 2 Quem. I'm really happy 2 Quem has been spreading through, because I've been singing 2 Quem for a while now. And me and Sam were talking about this the other night. And shout out to Sam Zhang very much. I can't wait to have him back on the channel. Such a good mind with Yu-Gi-Oh! And Branded. We were talking about why 2 Quem has come up, because back in the day, 2 Quem was not standard and was not being ran at all. People only ran 1 Quem, I think, because there was less hand traps. There was more board breakers, like with a Kashtira format, because you needed to out the Arise Heart. Hand traps weren't very good. Valor wasn't very good, you know, specifically Valor. These cards that need to go to the graveyard. So, you know, Quem... 1 Quem, your 1 Quem was getting you there. Your 1 Quem was not getting removed. Also, people didn't really know what Quem did in that format. It had just released in Syac. So I think that Quem got away with murder for a while, and now people know that card. And then also the format's more unfavorable towards Quem. So in terms of just like it sticking on the board, so I think that running 2 is why we're there now. You know, we have a lot more option. There's a lot more things removing Quem, so I think that's why we aren't running. That's why running 2 is pretty good right now. It feels really good compared to last time. And you know, when Quem first came out, everyone was on 1. We do see the 3 High Spirits with 3 Shroud Dragon, 1 Saronir, and 1 Lubellion. You love to see it actually. So maybe Jake LaMountain Man, maybe you could just run 2 Saronir. I'm usually someone who runs 3 Saronir with 3 High Spirits, but hey, if this worked for him, it worked for him. I feel like with these ratios, though, you are probably bricking. Because you are only at 1 Tragedy, 1 Mercurier, and then 3 High Spirits. Like, I don't know. I mean, it worked out for him, but like, you know, you're going to get a hand with like Tactics, like Droplet, Thrust, like Allure, and like High Spirits, and you're going to be like, what? Cool list, though. Cool list. Let's check out this Shiren list by Creighton Pre. This is a huge regional, 500 people at Fort Worth. Shout out to Creighton, man. I guess we could watch this for a minute. This one's actually in English.
Regional post Legacy of Destruction, 9 rounds of Swiss, 360 push. We have whoa, Creighton Pre returning to the channel. What did you do today, man?
Was good. I got a 4th place at the Fort Worth Regional with
what deck, man?
with the 60 card branded.
Branded, bring Branded back. So when did you decide to use this deck for the event?
Deck's nice.
Hell yeah.
All these cards are insane. Has a really good grind game, really strong effects. It's a good deck.
All right, before we start the deck profile, any shots?
Yeah, first of all, shout out to my sponsor, Epic Cards and Games. They hooked me up with this sick mat. Shout out to Joey Lynch and Aaron McInnes. And shout out to this guy for being one of my victims. And shout out me, because I'm the prodigy.
Shout out Cam for winning YCS.
Yeah, shout out Cameron Neal for winning YCS Rally.
You got spirit, dog.
Cam the man, he's nice.
Cam the
Without further
man.
ado, take it away, man.
We got
It's gonna take a minute.
3 Fusion, best card in the deck.
Way to start the profile. Just
Reopening,
Yeah, we're playing Branded.
3 duplication, deployment, play Fright for cards.
Oh no, not the Fright for cards. I can't run Fright for cards anymore because they lost me my Raleigh YCS. But I'm not saying they're bad, I just can't.
Play 3 talents,
Too much of bricks.
play thrusts, played all the draw spells I could manage.
Oh, we got desires in here. That's crazy. This is some goo.
3 desires, 3 allure.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, shout out my punching bag, says card limits.
You thought
I would do that too though if I played my friend in Top Cut.
all the alerts or what? I mean, drone locks?
Oh, yeah, I didn't get draw lock a single time today. Draw lock is terrible against branded.
Oh, okay.
You draw them, then they go branded fusion, and you look really dumb.
Yeah, exactly. Also, guys, make sure to leave a like on the YouTube stream. 40 people watching, only 10 likes, only 12 likes right now. Guys, let's rack it up. Smash that like button. If we hit 50 likes on the stream, we will I will do some combos. I will show off some combos, do some test hands, but we gotta hit 50 likes on the stream. It's a tall order, but if you guys want to hit it, we can hit it.
We got 3 droplet. This was imperm in my deck like last night, but I took it out last minute because I felt droplet had better application into breaking a snake eye board and being able to use it to dodge hand traps going second like Mourner and imperm and Veiler. I thought was really good. So I cut imperm for this. Don't regret it. This card was put in work today. Play 2 Branded in red because I don't want to lose. I don't want to play 1 and then lose it off desire, so we play 2. The 1-ofs, 1 poly, foolish, and gold sark. Then we play the traps, duplication.
I like the 1 poly at least, but like 3 patchwork is wild.
Distribution and banishment. I think you absolutely have to main deck the banishment if you're playing this deck because their revival on Mirror Jade or Quem is really good.
Yeah, that's a really good point. Like, that's what I've been thinking. Like, Banishment's Revival is actually better than the Super Poly effect right now.
The Super Poly effect doesn't really come up as much because all the decks are too diverse. But I did play a couple mirrors where it did come up, so that was nice. But I do like maining the Banishment.
All right. The desires ever backfire?
No, I don't think Desires ever really backfired on me once today. Got 3 Aluber, 3 Albaz, 3 Chain. We maxed out on the Fright for card because we really want to see those cards because they're great for breaking the board with Guardian Chimera that they can't target and keeping up your card advantage turn 1 because you have a lot of discard effects. So playing the max amount of these really helps you offset the discard costs. Play 2 Tragedy and 1 Adlib. And the Quem, 2 Cartesia, 1 Albion, a Kit, I'm a Courier, and Sharon. I think now Branded absolutely needs to be playing a tier limit monster in the main deck because it helps cycle back your resources and help you grind it out better. This used to be Hovness like 2 formats ago because I think the Hovness hand effect is a lot better than Sharon's hand effect. But because I play the edge up cards and multiple Tragedy when I didn't before, Sharon's hand effect actually comes up more now since I actually did use Sharon to pitch an edge jump chain like round 8 I think, and it started my combos. For hand traps we just played 3 Ash and 3 Nib. These are probably the best ones.
I do like the Shire, and it's something I've debated with. I've heard you should only do that with Double Masquerade, but I think there's a lot more applications outside Double Masquerade for Shire.
To play, and Yeah, that's about it. I didn't want to play no hand traps going into full Snake Eyes board, but you just don't have the room to like play 12 or 15 hand traps like Snake Eyes can. So you just play the minimum.
60 cards first.
60. Extra deck, 2 Mirror Jade, 2 Dust Dragon, 1 Magnum. This is the guy that you make if you open your Fight for cards. After you make a Dust Dragon, you poly it and your second edge chain for this. Put back the polymerization or branded fusion, get an extra card, and it can let you use your Fight for Patchworks for a second time, so you can only play 1 poly. So putting back the actual poly is nice. Titaniclad, a Sprint, Albion, Cabellion, Albion, Bygrand, and Rinbrom. I think Bygrand's really good to play since it can search from a courier. So in lines where you really want to resolve a branded in red for an ad-lib to bring back a Mirror Jade, you can use Mirror Jade on your turn.
Brigand is crazy.
To dump this or send it off Dust Dragon, so you can search on a courier at your end phase. And if they have like a Bestial or a DD Crow for your branded in red, then your courier can stop that hand trap and let you play through interruptions. Then Draco's Tapelia, Forterris, and Guardian Chimera. Side deck.
Also don't know about maining hand traps. I mean, I'm sure it worked out for him in the 60 card build, but without running like 3 more hand traps, you're gonna be top decking hand traps a lot.
Prodigy tokens, 2 Storm, 1 Harpies, and 3 Cosmic, because I don't want to lose to the Runic stuff.
I agree with the 3 Cosmic. 3 Cosmic should be standard right now still. In my testing at least. I see a lot of people not.
Decks, or whatever floodgate decks. We play 3 D barrier for to be Tenpai, to beat the mirror match, and to be voiceless. I mainly expected Tenpai to be really good now, and I expected a lot of people to be playing it. And since barrier is a really good card for Tenpai, I wanted to play barrier myself so I can have my own copies to cross out, so I don't get caught in the crossfire of D barrier. And we decided 3 Ghost Ogre.
Pretty good against Tenpai too.
Yeah, it's good against Tenpai, it's good against Flunderies, it's good against Voiceless. Some lines it's gonna be good against Snake Eyes as well.
Alright, well that was the list. It's a cool list. I mean, the Ghost Ogres are interesting too. I like that. At least in the context of him having more hand traps, you know? Not bad. Good for him. So well at a very big small YC. Let's see, stream music. Huh. Oh yeah, I have give me 1 second, folks. Getting the music back on, and then we are going to continue to review these deck lists. All right. Did he not play Thrust? No, this is his list right here. He played Thrust. I'm gonna try Havness now. I don't think Havness. I think Sharon's better than Havness personally, just as an extender, because it's like, you're not trying to fuse on your opponent's turn. I mean, and you probably can't, right? Like, what was the milling on your opponent's turn doing for you? You want to mill like a tragedy. But I think the Sharon's pretty cool. I think we could test that on our list right now. When we go and play some ranked. Alright, next list is by Mario Saris. Triple high spirits build with Poly and Droplet. You'll love to see it.